Hello, welcome to Math on Friday, March 27th. Just a quick reminder, we are going to have a live Zoom lesson where I will be teaching this and then answering questions that you have at 10:30 this morning. If it is before 10:30, I would really encourage you to maybe not do math first and come back and join us at 10:30. If you were not able to join us or this is later in the day, then you can follow along with me. Think of this kind of like your anchor chart that you would glue in to your notebook. Before we get started, let's kind of review some vocabulary for division and look at the steps for dividing decimals. So remember our divisor. This is going to be the number that we are placing outside of our division sign. We're going to do 200ths divided by 48 and 4/10. Now, you cannot have a decimal in your divisor. It's a kind of a weird thing. You can't have a decimal in your divisor, but you can have a decimal in your dividend. So looking at number 1, the way to get rid of that decimal is to multiply that by a power of 10. And so what we like to say is like scoop, scoop, ba-doop. So every time you scoop and move this decimal to the right, you are multiplying it by a power of 10. So I scooped once, scooped twice. And now that has turned into a 2. So step 1 is complete. I have multiplied my divisor by a power of 10, and there is no longer a decimal in my divisor. Well, if I made my divisor 100 times bigger, then guess what I have to do to my dividend? That's right, make it 100 times bigger. So I'm going to take this decimal and scoop, scoop, ba-doop. All right, so I scooped it once. I scooped it a second time. And what you notice when I made it 100 times bigger, it moved that decimal here, but then it also moved it out here and left this blank. And guess what we're going to put in that blank space? Gosh, y'all are on it today. We're putting a 0. So now I've done steps 1 and 2. That has changed my equation from 200ths divided into 48 and 4/10 to 2 divided into 4,840. So now my decimal is really sitting right here. For this problem, the decimal is at the end of the number, but step 3 is super important because sometimes when we multiply by a power of 10, we're still going to have a decimal in our dividend that we have to move up no matter where it is. This problem, we don't have one like that. We'll move it up, and it's going to be sitting here behind the number. So then I know that my answer is going to be a whole number. Well, now I just divide this like 2 divided into 4,840. So I'm going to draw my line down. I know how many 2's can I find in 4. Well, I know 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 2's equal 4. And then I have 3 spaces here. So I'm going to put 3 spaces here. Because if 2 2's are 4, then 2,000 2's are 4,000. And I'm going to subtract that, get 840. All right, well, how many 2's can I find in 8? I can find 4 2's in 8. So then I can find 400 2's in 800. How many 2's can I find in 4? 2 again. So 2 2's are 4, but 20 2's are 40. So then my answer is 2,420. So this is how you divide with decimals.